There is different kind of peace when your house is yours. Good morning, everybody. This is Vladimir Nemchinov with InvestSteady.com. Welcome to another cold Cleveland morning and live with me. Nice to see you. All right, today we are talking about paying off your house. I have not paid off mine yet. I do have one of the properties that is paid off. And I'm figuring out what's the best strategy. I want to pay off everything, but I know that with that money, maybe I can buy another property. And if I'm paying my property off versus rental, if I pay off rental, then I'm going to make monthly more money than if I pay off my property, then we will spend more money, I think. So anyways, that's my dilemma. But anyways, when paying off your mortgage actually makes sense. It makes sense once you're investing consistently, stable financially, and value peace of mind over squeezing out maximum returns. That's when you are ready. When everything else, all other levels of wealth game are achieved and you're leveling up, and this is next level. Only after you pass the other levels you are ready to start on prepaying your mortgage. Why this step is more emotional than mathematical. On paper, you might earn more investing, but emotionally, nothing beats owning your home outright. My in-laws, shout out to them, recently paid off their house. I think it took them 15 years. Wow, I can't be more proud of them. I would like to be in the same position one day, and I will be, God willing, definitely working towards that. But that's great. Even on behalf of them, I feel super excited about it. It's a big payment after all. For those of us who don't have car payments, this is one of the biggest payments we have every month. And if we don't have it and we own the property, oh man. Can't wait for that day. It's coming. All right. How extra payments change your timeline dramatically. Even small extra payments knock years off the loan and save tens of thousands in interest. And that's exactly how they did it. They just were paying more in principal, over the years. And that's how they accomplished this in 15 years. Half of the time that most people do it in. So, yeah, that's great. And it's definitely more emotional because not only it's the payment you have, but it's also a realization that now it is yours. You know, you own it finally, the property that you might be paying for years. And that's why I think it's cool. And extra payments, they speed it up, right? The more you put on your principal, the shorter your timeline is, and you pay it off faster. The faster you pay it off, the less you pay on interest. That's how it goes. All right. What life looks like when housing costs are optional. Your income stretches further, your stress drops, and your choices expand fast. And again, it's the same thought that no payment anymore. And usually it's a quarter or fourth or third sometimes of your bring home pay. So for us, our mortgage, including taxes and insurance, it's actually went up this year. So it's $1,010. And some people might think, oh man, you can't even rent anything for that much money. True, rents went up. I have watched smaller properties that I rent for more than that. However, it's still going up, and it's still a big chunk of our income, and now once it's going to be freed up, man, what a day. And as we talked previously, one of the advantages of mortgage, right? So yes, rents went up. We owned this house for, 5.5 years. Okay. Rents went up dramatically over this time, but a mortgage, it did go up just because of the taxes. So mortgage itself didn't, but taxes did go up. So the sooner you buy, the better off you are, because rents are going to be going up, going up every year. Every year they're going to go up. All right, let's get into the questions. The first question would be 8 more years till house is paid off. What are the pros and cons of paying it off early? Since I can see the light at the end of my mortgage, should I expedite it or not? Are the benefits of waiting or rushing the payoff? Well, you want to make sure that you following the wealth game. Okay, you want to make sure your other ducks in a row, so to speak, right? That you're budgeting. You know how much money you can actually put towards that. That you're not put too much money and then you have no money for food or paying, bills and stuff. So from there, you want to make sure if you're married, you have kids, you want to make sure your income is protected with life insurance. You want to make sure you have your will in order. Those are the things that you want to make sure are done before you start doing this. You want to make sure you do not have any debt. All your consumer debt is paid off except the house. Next step would be emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of your expenses. Okay, once that is done, you should be investing into retirement, 15% of your gross income. And once that is in place, you want to see, do you want to put 529 towards your kids' college? Because let's say it takes you 10 years to pay off your mortgage. Well, that 10 years, that 529 would be growing a lot. If you start doing, if you pay off your house first in 10 years and only after 10 years start putting money into 529, it only have, let's say, 8 years to grow versus 18. Okay, so that's why that order is in that order. Okay, once that is done, then finally you can start prepaying your house. And it's very simple. You look at your budget, no more debt. You saved up emergency fund. Okay, 15% goes towards retirement. That's it. You don't need 16%. You don't need 20% at this level of wealth game. Okay, once that is done, okay, you're looking. Okay, I still have spare $1,000 a month, let's say. Okay, for example. So you can, okay, I have 2 kids. I'm gonna put $250 towards each of theirs, 529. Okay, after that, okay, I still have $500 left. Well, that can go towards mortgage every month, towards principal, not the whole payment, but the principal. That 500 is going to be $6,000 a year, so that's in 10 years, that's $60,000 more, plus compounding of that interest that you don't have to pay. So it's going to make a big drastic difference. So this is the order, and that's the order that I recommend and that I use in my family, and I recommend to stick with. All right, next question is, should I pay off my house? I'm trying to decide if I should pay off my house early. I'm 35, $150K a year, owe 80 on my home at 6%. I only have 6%. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you owe. It's emotional. Okay, I only have, 100K between my retirement accounts, small money market I recently opened with 5K in it. I'm currently maxing out my Roth IRA with 401K. It's generally steady, but I do contract work. What happened? Okay, YouTube back online. Okay, Facebook back online. If you're just joining us, it's the live with Vladimir in the morning on your way to work or at the gym. Thank you for joining us, and we are looking at this question. But I do contract work, so there are times I'm between contracts for a month, thinking it'd be nicer if my home was paid for or one less thing to worry about. And that is very good. That's a very good thinking. For sure, one less thing to worry about. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a high yield saving account has $150,000. Payoff for the house is $80,000. So if you do that, you still have 70. It's plenty. I see there's a lot of stuff going on. There is a retirement account, small money market recently opened with $5,000. Okay, but you're trying to do a lot of things at once. You're maxing out your IRA and 401k, and 401k is like $24,000, $23,000 a year. That's a lot of money. Okay, so again, we need to go through the steps. Your emergency fund, you have emergency fund. You have $150,000. Okay, 3 to 6 months of expenses out of that would go towards emergency fund. I'm hoping all your debt is paid off. You don't owe anything to anybody except the house. Okay, once that is done, let's see. You don't need to really pause your investing since you have enough money to pay off the house in one swoop. So we can do that. So again, there's a couple things that I don't know about investing, how much you invest, and if you have emergency fund. If you do, on top of that, let's assume you don't, and you have $150K in your high yield saving account. So take portion of that for emergencies, put that aside, or keep it in that saving account and call it your emergency fund account. Okay, from there, you now go and put 15% of your investments into, 15% of your income into retirement account. So if you need to, if there's a match, put as much of that into 401k as much as they match, and then the rest goes into Roth IRA, which you have, which is good. So do that. Once that is done, again, if you have kids, do that. If you don't have kids, then this is the time you can put extra into your paying off the house. So let's say you need, if you make 150 a year, let's say you need 10,000, 30,000 for 3 months, 60,000. Let's say you need 60,000 for emergency fund, so you have 90,000. Pay off your house. Pay off your house, and you're not gonna have a payment for the rest of your life. That's amazing. While it's gonna while the house is going to appreciate. So that is a good place to be in. Okay, so let's see. Yep, and then from there, max out your 401k. And if you have more money than 401k can absorb, you then put more money into your money market, okay, that you just opened. And that's what I would do with that question. It's very simple. When you have this plan, the wealth game, every level is there for a reason. Just follow that, no matter what your situation is. Just follow excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Oh man, sneezing on the live. That's crazy. So, God bless me. You basically follow those levels of the wealth game, and that's it. No matter where you are, if you're 18 years old, you're just starting the job. This is the wealth game. Follow it. No matter if you are a professional and have been working for 20 years plus, like I have, same thing applies. Pay off, create a budget, pay off your debt, emergency fund, and then start doing your retirement investing. And once you get to the level of paying off the house, prepay the house, put more money into it, and pay it off. Okay? Okay, so let's go to the next question. We are here. Okay. Hi, everybody. 24 male and 25 female with 8,800 net monthly income. Nice income. 250K home with 30-year fixed VA loan at 5%. Only have one car payment with 11K balance at $460 per month. No other debt. Great. 2 Roth IRA accounts and a saving emergency fund with a 5-figure range. Okay. No health insurance costs. Now that the context is there, should I be focused on paying off the house early or investing? I could ideally yield 7 to 10 annual from investing in S&P 500, 10 to 12, and NASDAQ index funds or respective ETFs. Okay, house insurance principal in interest. Principal interest is $13.42 per month, and principal interest taxes insurance is $16.50 per month. I have the ability to make a double payment towards principal every month. I would like to have the house paid off by the time we are in our 30s, because that would provide peace of mind, having a paid off house, and would free up nearly all of our income from secured unsecured debt. I'm open to any advice. Thank you. All right. All right. So this is what we got. You can do double payment. That's great. Remember to you have both Roth IRAs. I would first pay off your car. I would stop any contribution to retirement. I would focus on paying off your debt. Once debt is paid off, well, I take it back. You don't even take it. You don't need to even stop it, because you have a 5-figure range emergency fund. Okay, so take 11,000, pay off your car. Don't borrow for cars, because you putting money in their pocket instead of your pocket. So don't do that. Okay, once the car is paid off, okay, then your emergency fund should be in place already with 5 figures, and then continue with Roth IRA accounts. From there, if you can, in fact, make a double payment. Now you also freed up $460 per month on your vehicle. So double payment plus $460 on top of that, you will be out of the house payment in no time. I don't see any mentioning of kids. Obviously, you're a young couple, a lot of money, very good. Focus on that. Kids will come. You can stop that. You can put more money into Roth IRA, for example. Definitely get life insurance. Put more money into what did I say? Roth IRA? No, not Roth IRA. Put more money into 529 for kids, if you will, and then again the rest goes on paying off your house. If you pay your house in let's see. If you pay your house in 10 years, you're going to be 35 and with paid off $250,000 house, which would be over $300,000 at that point. So, guys, this is amazing. This is why I'm doing this. It looks like people who ask this question about paying off house are well off financially, and this is good. This is where you're going to be if you follow the wealth game. Okay? A level after level after level, the hardest ones in the beginning, but then you see your wealth grow, your house appreciates, and it's paid for, okay? And then your retirement accounts growing and growing and growing. Man, this is so nice. This is so nice, guys. All right, let's look at the next question. 39 male medium cost of living city, new to Reddit. After years of carefully saving and investing, I have about $700,000 in non-retirement brokerage account. Whew. $50,000 emergency cash plus checking account to last 3 months of expenses. That $700K has a rough cost basis of $500K, meaning I owe capital gain tax on $200,000 if I sold it all. All right, that's strange. All right, that seems like a very little growth from $500,000. I don't know how long he did it for, but my remaining mortgage is $600K on a 30-year loan mortgage with 4% interest. I'd pay roughly $500K in interest over 30 years if I keep it full term. That's a lot of interest. Please tell me if I'm crazy for wanting to pay off the home and be done with this game. My entire life savings, non-retirement, would be in this house, but I'd be saving all the interest payment. I guess the counter argument is, will my home outperform the stock market over the same time period? I'd be giving up stocks growth but paying mortgage interest and tax on any stock gains eventually. We have a stable income and baby on the way. Should I make the jump? Edit. Thank you all. TLDR, don't sell investments. Ooh, I didn't read this far. Well, it looks like somebody answered this person's guy's question, and he decided not to sell investments. Well, let's compare this question against the wealth game, right? If you want to get wealth, the fastest way is this. Okay, I don't think he has any debt of which he's mentioning, which is good. So that means we passing that level right away. We're going to the emergency fund. He has emergency fund, and then he has emergency fund for emergency fund. He has 3 months of expenses in his checking account. That very well could be the 3 months of emergency fund. So that's overkill for sure. So I would between $50K emergency cash and 3 months, I would just put whatever he needs to run a month even, or from paycheck to paycheck in his checking account. The rest, well, some of it will go to emergency. So 3 to 6 months. From there, he would put 15% into his retirement account. So he making all this growth, but he's gonna pay taxes on that, on all of that. So I definitely would open Roth IRA, and if you have any matches with 401k, definitely take advantage of that. So from there, okay, paying off, you don't have to sell the investments, of course, but you can pay off your home, and then you don't owe anything, and you have a baby on its way, and that's it. That's a good goal. And then from there, you have to build your emergency fund, because you're gonna take advantage of not taxable accounts, and you will have all this growth non-taxable. So that's good. So this is what I would do in this situation. Well done, $700,000 in non-retirement brokerage account. So very well, very well. You are on the way to be a millionaire, and that's the name of the game, kinda. All right, let's look at the next question. Should I pay off my house? I lost my husband this past week quite unexpectedly. Still in shock and not making any decisions right now, but wanting advice on how to proceed once I am in a good place again. Wow. Wow, sorry to hear. I don't see age. Yeah. Still owe about 100K on our mortgage and have about 335,000 equity. Zero debt and low property tax. Very good. My monthly income is going to go from over 50K to under 30. Okay. Wow, that's not bad for 50K income. Mortgage payment is 700. Also great. I still have not started my Social Security. Okay, so that's probably a lady who is older and was trying to wait until at least 67, which is 67, is another 5 years, but may have to pull it. Have about 100K in diversified portfolio I could use to pay off the house, but not sure I even want to stay in California. Would love to hear some recommendations, please. All right. Edit. I meant early on our income. I meant yearly on our income, and interest rate is 4.9. Also, thank you everyone. I really appreciate your time and advice, and I'm feeling some relief. Another question. We enjoyed traveling, and sometimes I would like to continue to do without having to pull from my savings. I don't want to put off doing the things I enjoyed for 5 years till I can pull that extra income by waiting. Will it make sense to start getting it now since I have the surety of his annuity? All right, so she did not mention anything about annuity. I don't know if that income is part of annuity. I do not recommend annuities ever. It's, yeah, you stuck with them. You can't do anything about them while market is going through the roof and does a lot of growth and returns, and you stuck with that annuity. Very poor product. As a matter of fact, I can sell it, but I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it to anybody. Okay, so let's dive into that. So mortgage payment is very low. There's a lot of missing information, so it's hard for me to determine things. Um, okay, so she's saying basically 100K in her diversified portfolio and 100K she owns on the house. Yes, if she doesn't want to live in California, by all means, you can probably sell the house. You have 335 equity. You can buy anywhere in the country. You can buy property for that money. Probably even better and bigger, depending on where you want to go, where your kids are, all that, grandkids. So you need to consider all of that before you make that decision. There is not enough information for me to go off of. The only thing I want to say about Social Security is, yes, it will be more money at 67 if you. Yeah, I don't. At this point, obviously, I'm not that close to that age, but I would just take the money up front and not wait another 7 years or 5 years for the most benefit. Just some money. I'm definitely going to be planning on being in a better place financially, but everybody's planning, not everybody may be wanting that, but not working towards that. I am working towards that, so hopefully I will be in better situation at my retirement age, but I still want to take Social Security as soon as I can, because money right now is better than money in 5 years. My father-in-law passed at 69. All right, so yeah, I'm not waiting for sure. All right, let's go to the next question. Hi all, I recently sold my starter home and I'm currently closing on a new house for 400K. I am approved for 0 down, 6.3% interest, 30 years. Okay, before I even continue, 0 down. So here's the problem with 0 down. Market, as you know, go up and down. Okay, usually it's tracking over years. It's trailing up, going up and up and up. Okay, there's years it goes down a little, up, down, up. So I do not recommend with buying 0 down, because let's say your house worth 100,000, right? And you bought it for 100,000. You borrowed 100,000. Now market maybe dipped a little bit and you need to move. Well, maybe now your house worth $90,000. So you will need to actually pay money to sell the house, if that makes sense. So you don't want to ever buy that with 0 down payment. Put something down, you will be better off, your mortgage will be lower, and so on. Okay, back to the question. After the sale of my first home, I have enough savings to pay off the new home and have 30K-ish left in my savings. This would free up an additional 3,500-ish per month that I could now put back into savings to rebuild it. Is there any reason not to pay it off in cash ASAP? Obviously, blowing all my liquid savings is the most worrying part. Any unforeseen things I should be concerned with? And edit, paid off. Congratulations. Congratulations, High in Church. High in Church paid off his house of $400,000. Yes. Yes, if you have money, you can pay it off, and you in the right level in the wealth game, yes, pay it off. Don't need to worry about it. Alrighty, guys, this was Vladimir Nemchinov. Thank you for joining. Invest